Growing up, I loved the old RPG games like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, but there was one thing I always wished I could do better: the combat. I wanted to play an RPG that had an amazing story, characters I could interact with, and thrilling combat to be the icing on the cake. Howdy, and welcome to Game Endeavor, where I show you my hard work and you ease my crippling insecurities by leaving a big old thumbs up. A few weeks ago, I started working on an RPG and streaming the development over on Twitch. The combat is going to play an essential role in gameplay. It's the main thing you do in between skipping through dialogue, so it's important that it keeps you fully engaged and entertained. It does this by being action-based, so you don't need to wait in line to attack your enemies. Now I hear you saying, oh, so you're making an action game. Yes, but no. Action games don't generally scratch that RPG itch that I'm after. I want to create a world where you can invest in the characters and know them on a personal level. I want to be able to earn coins from slaying monsters, and use that to upgrade my equipment, to buy potions and other necessities. I want to traverse a beautiful open world from one location to another like the old Zelda games of my childhood, but also interact and live in this world, meet its citizens, and be a part of their lives. This is why I'm creating Zoe and the Cursed Dreamer. And in this devlog series, I'll be sharing with you my insight into development, such as the decisions I make towards the design of my game, why I'm making them, and what I'm doing to actually create the game, its mechanics, and its art. So if you want to get a sneak peek at how a game is made, or even join the tight-knit community that we already have on Discord, then you're in the right place. Unless you're not in the Discord yet, in which case you can get there through a link in the description. First off, I want to mention the art right quick. I will be doing a cute but deadly aesthetic. You will be fighting many horrible monsters throughout this game, but they'll look absolutely adorable slurping down the marrow from your bones. I can be a bit of an odd one in that I love cute and cuddly things, but I also have an affinity for the more darker, sinister things as well, and I think that it will be amusing to try and combine these two together into a game. I'll be using the Godot Engine to make this game. If you've never heard of me, I make tutorials for the Godot Engine with an adorable cartoon bear named Paul Bear. Say hello if you like. He only bites if you're into that kind of thing. He'll be popping up from time to time, so you may as well meet him now. He has become a bit of a beloved mascot for the channel, so if you know me, then no worries, he's not going anywhere. I've been working on this project for a few weeks already, and I'm very excited with where it's heading. Most of this time has been spent on art and animation, which is a big no-no for prototyping, but you try making a game with only squares and get people on YouTube to watch it. Oh, right. Well, back to my game. The main idea is to make an action RPG, but go overboard with the RPG elements. I'm talking about a story, characters, some that may even join you in combat, and even a base building mechanic where you can improve the local town and have an area to yourself to live in and make your own. If you're thinking, this sounds like a lot for your first game, it kind of is, but I've been programming games for about 10 years now. I've just never had much interest in publishing a game until now. But honestly, most of it is pretty standard stuff that can be easily implemented, and the rest of it is just content and perseverance. With the exception of the base building mechanic, which isn't a guaranteed feature at this moment. I want to see how well the game is received first before I dedicate that much time to such an extensive feature. So if it's something you would like to see, then share this video as it will help others find the game as well. The aesthetic is also something that I'm putting a lot of effort into. I want the environment to look unique and impressive, so to try and set the tone for the game, I've started developing the forested area first, which is what you've seen so far. Drawing foliage has always been tricky for me, which is why I decided to cheat a little this time and make the trees really big. I'm talking massive. So big that I don't even have to draw the leaves. I just took the shade tiles from the floor, made them fully black, added a bit of parallax, and there you have a hacky forest. Speaking of the shade in the forest, I've already gotten a few questions about this, so I will take this opportunity to answer it for any others that may be wondering about it as well. The effect is actually pretty simple. I'm not using a light source or anything fancy. All I'm doing is laying down a semi-transparent tile set over everything. This causes everything under it to look as though it's in the shade. Such a simple effect can really add a lot of beauty to the scene. An interesting feature about this game artistically is that I'm actually using a 24 by 24 pixel tile set, which I think is pretty uncommon. I don't know of any other games that use this tile size, but then again, I don't usually count pixels when I'm playing games. But in my opinion, this tile size is perfect for the game that I am trying to make. 32 by 32 pixel art is so much work. I tried this in my previous attempt at a similar project, and the art was just so tedious and time consuming to make. So much so that it's actually why I stopped working on the project, and honestly, I'm not even happy with it. 16 by 16, however, it is too small for my taste. I find it to be too difficult to get the level of detail that I personally enjoy in pixel art, but 24 by 24 is just right. See, I told you he'd be popping up again. I'm also not going to be doing procedural generation for this game, at least not primarily. Procedural generation is very useful, and it can make whole worlds that are most likely to be unique to you. But there are very few procedural games I have played where I thought, wow, this area is beautiful. Instead, I want to build stunning and interesting areas, vibrant with personality, and I believe that the best way to accomplish this is to handcraft most of the world. This game is also going to heavily feature magical items and trinkets. You'll even be able to build wizard classes with the bells and whistles that you'd expect in any other RPG. Wizards will cast their magic with magical items they collect throughout their journey, such as a fire staff or a spellbook. This will allow you to keep a select few of your favorite spells on you without having to navigate through a list of old spells that you haven't used in the past 200 hours of gameplay. Along with the wizard class, there will also be a warrior and a rogue class, perhaps even more. Warriors will specialize in your typical melee combat and skills, and rogues will be better for ranged combat, close quarter stabby combat, as well as deception and stealth. Rogues used to be among my favorite classes to play growing up, so I want to take special care to make sure that rogues are exciting to play in this game, so that I make Little Endeavor proud. As much as I enjoyed rogue characters growing up though, I always felt like most games never really reached their potential with them. I hope to be a little different. Exploration is going to be one of the core gameplay focuses as well. I want to capture the feeling of an overworld that you can explore, dungeons to discover and delve into, and plenty of secrets to uncover. As for towns in the game, I tend for there to be one main town that you'll primarily interact with. RPGs will usually have several towns that you go to between each dungeon. This helps with progression because in the next town you can buy better gear than the previous. However, the biggest feature that I want to focus on in this game is the characters. Not just the ones that you travel with, but also the NPCs in the game. I want them to be memorable, characters that you can get to know and fall in love with. And I feel that the best way to accomplish this is to narrow down the scope of characters that I need to create so that I can dedicate plenty of time to each individual one, but also to have you interact with these characters on multiple occasions, rather than as you're passing through a town, covered in dungeon slime on your way to the next dungeon. To interact with these characters, there will be a relationship system in the game, and not one that consists entirely of reading a wiki for a list of items that the character may want as a gift. I've always felt like this was such a shallow approach to relationships in games. If you were to give someone a strawberry every day, pretty soon they're going to grow a little weary of you and regret dropping that little hint 2 years ago. Instead, we grow our relationships by interacting with each other, communicating and spending time together, and I feel like there is plenty of room to explore this as a mechanic in NPC relationships. So my relationship system will be based on interaction with the NPCs and the dialogue choices that you make when speaking to them or even about them. I am very excited to see where this goes, because I feel like this is close to the perfect game that I wanted to play as a kid. I say close because Little Endeavor would have wanted 100 unique story endings and 600 hours of gameplay, and I'm just not up to that. If you want notifications for when I release the next devlog, then join the sub club and ding-a-ling that bell and I will see you there.